Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Brandon. I'm an illustrator. This one I wanted to show you pretty much sketches to paintings. These are older paintings that I've done over the years, and I think it's interesting to see kind of how they started and the ideas before they're created. The first one we can start off with is Wendy Williams. This is something I did maybe around 2016, 2013 around. This is when I used to watch her show in the mornings, and it always would crack me up. I've always liked personalities that are I always like truth tellers, and I mean, sometimes her stuff was controversial, sometimes she actually offended me sometimes, but in general, she had a good sense of humor. She has a good sense of humor, and I always appreciate that about anyone. So yeah, you can see the Hot Topics on in the corner right there. That was the name of her segment in the mornings, and then we'd have the people saying like, how you do it in the background. And then of course her wig collection. She would always talk about her wigs. She was very shameless about her wigs, and I thought it was just very funny because at that point it really wasn't that popular to just talk about like that you don't even wear your own hair all the time. So I think it's actually a pretty good representation of her. It looks like her. Yeah, it looks like her. It definitely suits her personality. It gets that kind of sarcastic, snarky look that I was looking for. And yeah, I think it really is a solid piece. I also like the fact that as far as the colors are concerned, I use complementary colors, so opposite colors on the color wheel. So that's like purples and yellows and blues and orange. And it really helps everything pop and look glowy. So it definitely I think helps out the piece and makes it just, I don't know, it looks like she's on a show. It looks like everything's lit up, everything's illuminated, and that's what I love to show in my paintings. I think that's kind of what how my stuff stands out from other people's, is just kind of like the little outlines around the sides, the highlights, the intense shadows. So yeah, I think color-wise, it's a really solid piece. The hand, of course, is a little odd. It looks very claw-like back then, and even now, I don't like drawing hands, so yeah. But I think the concept was very funny, and it definitely fits the time period. Yeah, so I definitely recommend, like, if you guys are interested in color theory, I can go in more on that in probably another video, but I think it's important to understand these things as far as like opposite colors on the color wheel, because it allows you to create really dynamic pieces and kind of have the viewer engage with it more. I feel like sometimes if you don't have the right colors, sometimes it can actually look, it can take away from the humor of the painting. I feel like because I use a lot of bright yellows, peaches, greens, purples, it kind of adds to the over-the-topness of her personality and the over-the-topness of the actual painting, you know? So yeah, I think it's very important to solidify that. And yeah, so the pop of green, I think, helps to stand out from everything else. Everything else is kind of purple. It helps just kind of bring that, like, it's just like kind of shocks you. It's like, oh, okay, you're here now. So yeah, it's a very solid piece, and I'm very, very happy with it. Next one I want to show is Amy Winehouse. This was a piece that I am still in love with to this day. I did this around like 2008, 2009, and I was just kind of figuring out my style. Here is some of the thumbnails I did. These are just ideas. You always want to come up with a bunch of concepts before you roll up and just start a painting, in my opinion. And I was just kind of getting that personality. She smokes cigarettes. This is a more like kind of feminine, more like goofy side of things. And then I had more straightforward. I think she was a beautiful woman. So I used to just kind of just draw that. And then there also were the obvious signs. You know, she had her main song was Rehab. So she's drinking some wine with some smoke that's coming up, and that's the one I actually chose to go with. And my professor, I remember, because I was at UArts at the time, he really wanted me to have fun with the smoke and her smoking a cigarette and the wine, and just kind of the flow of it. And at first I was like, are you sure? And then it all came together. I was so excited. Yeah, it just kind of has that kind of drunk look. I probably wouldn't do that nowadays because she's so much more than just a drunk performer. She was an icon, and her music is amazing. So I kind of feel guilty a little bit in a weird way. But this was 2008, and this is what I used to do as caricature, so this was her thing. I like that I took time with the beehive haircut, and yeah, you can see the smoke coming from the top, and it swirls over her head. That was on purpose to use as like a dynamic sign. So recently, I think about a year or two ago, I started just kind of fixing it up. It got scratched up over the years, and so I decided to go in and fix it. I use acrylic paint, and yeah, again with the colors, I was really happy with that. But aside from that, it did get scraped, and I was so happy that I was able to like just work with it. It may be an issue when I try to scan it, but either way, I'm glad that I was able to get the skin tone to blend thoroughly again. Again, I really do like the colors in this one because if you look at the skin tone, it's not just, oh, her skin, she's a white girl, so that's it. No, there's purples, there's blues, there's yellows, there's browns, there's peaches, there's maybe a little bit of a yellow in there at times, to really get that form. So especially when I was like fixing it, it definitely helped me to kind of understand that, so I can add the highlights where they belong. So that highlight is like perfect to where the camera would hit it. And yeah, so I really like the smoke. The smoke, I think, brings it all together. It's a smooth kind of transition from the top to the bottom, as well as these like highlights around her body and everything else. Because the background is so solid and kind of boring, it definitely helps it stand out completely. That's what I like to do in a lot of my drawings and sketches, to kind of make everything pop out. The whole point is to be kind of feel like the image is popping out of the page. I feel like that is something I really look to do. It makes it more eye-catching, and I think it makes it more fun to look at. Of course, that's my signature right there. But yeah, it definitely is a piece that I am super proud of, and I really honestly can't wait to get doing portraits again. I kind of fell off a little bit lately, but these are inspiring me to get back to it. So if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye guys.